Hey, all, here's where we wanted to go. I wanted to get you into the meat and fruit and the fruit and the meat without getting hurt. But if you go ahead and survive and let us train you as a ranger, you're going to have fun. It's the easiest, funnest thing you've ever will have done and enjoy. Anyway, so this is the briefing after the history share that went extensively going for a while. So this talks about the early rangers, dairy field farmer turned ranger. See how this is? Very beginning. And as always, I won't be able to rest until I've got the first five, last names of the General Shirley order stated he's got to use this to kill the Indians. Okay, so the first, Rangers was the original one, and then there had to be five that was the willing squad that went with them to train. And yes, they went through killing, and yes, maybe one or more got killed. The rules of ranging is 28 right there. And the original, you can go ahead and check. You can go to stores. You can go down to Fort Benning. You can go ask somebody what the 28 rules of ranging are or were. But there's a Ranger Creed, and that's what I had to do, which was really easy and fun. It was the funnest, easiest thing I ever did in my life. But it was great because it makes you stronger because you go through everything you're afraid to go through. See, this goes into Canada right here. Now, as far as the first Indians that were killed with the first Rangers, that's like the snowshoes expedition. There doesn't have to be, but in the journals of both ensign and enlisted and officers, you will be able to pull the truth out of all the people in the snowshoes battles and the actual killings before that. The Indians, Indians have names too. And they were a part of this. As you can see right here, look. That's Lev Wells, Ranger Company, 1725. So if you think about it, the Rangers were actually before what we're telling you about, right? 1757's official. 13, the 13th, I guess March 1758 was Snowshoes Battle. But look, this is the actual Ranger here. Now, if you want to get technical and go ahead and hurt my feelings or offend me, the cavemen were rangers. Adam and Eve and Steve were rangers, right? Jesus was a ranger. So there we go. 14 rangers. Now this is we go skirmishes with Indians, so this could have been the cannibalism right here. Yeah, 1725. Now they're killing Indians. You have to remember this goes up to French Indian Wars. Remember, this is the recap. Y'all Rangers, just remember this is just a debriefing. And I don't know. No, I do know. I'm not like another Ranger. I don't really want to read any comments to tell the truth. But here we go. Look, Rumford, 1744. Now we're coming back up to 57 official. But this is so cool because you have Amherst and all these guys everyone heard of. The little guys, this is what we like to hear about. But this is so beautiful because I'm knocking back history right there. 1725. You have a private in. See, this is a private, what he would look like. You can tell he's rock steady, man. He's a survivor because he's a private. So that was one of the original men. He was a private under Lovewell. 1725 doesn't say anything about Rogers. They're Indian hunters. That's what they were. Now, Wright took them up north. That's when they went back to Canada, went to original cannibalism. But it got cold, man. So it really got cold. But it got cold, really got cold. See how we make a rhyme? Time based at 1419. Okay, this is official right here because it's not going back to 1725 like I took you. This is official. And, like I will be concerned till probably when I die. Put a gravestone that says those were the 5 original Rangers. And then they had 10, 50, 20. But look, there's the 28. Now, this explains a company. A dozen companies is 12 companies, and that had 1,200 people. So, I'm keeping it simple as to the way we were. I would never wear that much. This is 1760 here. Yee. This is as far as I'm going to take you back, because here are the battles, baby. Right here in chronology. 1725. Remember, that's official, actually. Rangers before Rogers going up to killing Indians and going up to Canada. Stark. So I'm taking you through the stream right here. So you can stream that. See? Snowshoes, boom, boom, boom. All right, here we go. These are officials right here, skirmishes. Now, this is one that I got into, but we can get into later. Devil's Hole Massacre, 1763. Then you have Pontiac's War, right? After that. Montreal Campaign was after that. Then look at here. Sante Thériès, however you say it. St. Francis Road, baby. Then the Battle of Ticonderoga. And then St. John River. Okay, y'all Google where that is. Cape Sable Campaign in the Indian Pettit. It's called Pettit. I had a guy that was a warrior of mine. He wasn't a ranger, but Pettit would have made it. Pettit Kodiak River Campaign, okay? So those are skirmishes right there, folks. Now we get into the ones that people have heard about. See, coming up right here, Pettit, Kodiak, the St. Jean Korean, Siege of Louisbourg, and the Battle of Snowshoes. Now they cut it off right here. See, Fort McHenry, everyone's heard about that, but no one really heard about this. It was happening in the same AO, okay? So here we go. Time date stamp 1722. Now this is a cool history, as you can see right here, Fort Detroit. Time date stamp 735. Okay, this is where we're going. Pretty interesting here. You ever want to be a leader? Go to war. It's the only way you're going to be a leader. Okay, that's the way they look. Wait one, time date stamp 802. Okay, hang on to whatever's left of you and hang on to something else too. Now we are taking you way back. 1371. See here? Talking Britain, okay? Was a ranger in England. Right here. Waltham. Thomas de Croydon was a ranger. It's 1371, y'all. The Middle Ages, okay? So we have rangers going back 1371. I'm taking you back as far as we can go. Hunted wolves, discouraged, boom, bandits. Just like Jesus and the Knights of the Templar, right? And starting banks. Here we go right here. 1634. Blackler, Virginia, Chesapeake Bay, Virginia, Maryland, 1630s. The private use of small parties of military rangers by Virginia and Maryland plantation owners was probably common by the late 1630s. Here we go. 1648. King Philip's War. 1675. 1676. See, here's the Indian. It's the Indian. Troubles without bubbles. Time date stamp 952. So here you go. Rogers, Church. Now you're hitting the beginning of what people have thought. The Rangers started 1758. Well, that's Jenkins' ear, the War of Jenkins' ear. See, my right ear got shot off, so you can see this is actually a real battle. Most of the other northern colonies followed the example of Plymouth and Massachusetts and used Rangers to protect their frontiers. During much of the 18th century, Nova Scotia, New York, and Georgia Rangers were active during the War of Jenkins' Ear and King George War, 1739-48. Most of the colonies also employed Rangers to protect their frontiers from Indians. 1648, skirmishing, chaos, uprisings. 1670, King Philip Wars going on. Colonies are there. Time date stamp 1103. 7-Year War. This used to be a big deal for me. Because, see, I would go, it was raging. Now, England, this focus on one thing at a time. You know, and that's how I got to, I don't want to say it, but actually that's a part of my later stage killing was to catch crayfish under rocks. Anyway, I'll tell you the story later. So look, here we go. Looky. 1755-63. So the French-Indian War is happening in the United States, but what is this? Was raging on the bloody battlefields of Europe. Okay? So, you know, that's where this ranger goes back to. You know, and the Indians were rangers too. They were scouts, you know what I mean? They scalps and scalped. The first ranger company was founded on 23rd March 1756. That's going back to Rogers right there. You had to have 3 sergeants, okay, ensign. You had to have a Louis and a captain. They needed to be rugged, they had to be trained. Harry means rouse, rough up. The mission was to tear them apart, raid, destroy them, to kill them. There he is. 10 companies, so, you know, I'm always going back to my feelings, 90 to 100 people is a company, but a troop would be, you just keep it simple. A squad is going from 1 up to 5, and you can get more, 7, 8, 9, usually no more than that, 10-man squad, because it goes to a platoon, which can be 20 or 30 people. You go to a troop, it could be 90 to 100 people. Then you go to a company, so you're looking at the 300 Rangers, a company. So we're talking about this right here. 10 companies, that's 3,000 Rangers to fight against French and Indians. But he had already got his major then. He went through the ranks. He's doing 3,000 Rangers to fight all of French and Indians. Here we go right here. It's 250 years ago. Time date stamp 1340. Unorthodox men. Now we go back into NVA LRP. I said this a while back. Long range reconnaissance patrols. LRP, long range patrol. So we went all the way back to 1370s, ladies and gentlemen, women and men. 200 men raided some Indians at St. Francis, okay. You see what really happened here. Time date stamp 1427. This really happened. Amherst. The Battle of Bloody Ridge. Time date stamp 1458. 60 rounds of powder and bail and a hatchet. Now see this, in the other share, the hilltop engagement of the snowshoes. Well, the Rogers and his men, had 400 Rangers. They made a mistake by going up the hill because anytime you're up and moving, you can be killed at any angle from any surrounding. And going up a hill, and especially silhouetting in the top of the hill. We've been fighting forever for territory and gaining ground and hilltops. And it's just a part of what we used to do. So here we go. Time date stamp 1603. These are the 28 rules of ranging right here. I'm not getting a whole lot out of it because the Ranger Creed would have parts of it, but not necessarily. Like here, I say, you keep people up from your detachment the whole time. So the crack of dawn, you better have been killing the enemy while they slept. It's safer that way. And then, if people want to be POWs, sure, but you have to make sure they work for you through war. So this is man-made, like the Bible. Enemy. It's talking about rear canoes. It's funny how it ends. The 28th rule to ranging. This talks about the boat, in the bush. Hide it in the bush. There's 28 right there. Now, this is the standing orders, which I like better because to me that's really original. Don't forget that. Have your musket clean. And it talks about acting. Don't ever lie to a ranger officer. How do you like that? Pomegranate apple. Don't take a chance. But this is, I like the standing order better, because it's easy and simple, like RSO, reach, share out, have fun, share, reach out, have fun, just 3-step program. Look, satisfy yourself to the enemy's number. That's all. It's funny though because I'm making myself enjoy it because the 28th rule arranging it talked about a boat. See it right? Boop 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 boat. But I'm gonna end up loving this more. You know what I mean? I hope it's kind of cool. It's an order. Don't forget nothing. Yeah, there's so much more about being a ranger than this, but that was the way that was with those rangers. Now that's from combat. Don't take chances. You don't have to. You march, strike, swamp. If you strike, spread out. It's hard to track us. So this is why I like this better than the standing orders. I like better than 28 rules of ranging. It talks about distance, you know, eating, sleeping, crossing rivers, how to kill your enemy when they're trailing you. See, he's talking about from the ground, like prone, from the low ground up, killings. Perfect right here. Now, this is pretty good right here. This is accurate. I remember this before. Let the enemy come till he's almost close enough to touch, then let him have it. Jump out and finish him up with their hatchet. So that's 19 standing orders. But look, y'all, we took you back to 1370 with the Ranger history. See, these guys were a part of it too. Morgan was a big part of it, right? Adopted by organized units based upon the Battle of Cacao. Penn, 81, Cornwallis, cracked British troops. Okay, look, time date stamp 1949. Now, Marion, you guys are on your own. Marion's group went down to South Carolina, Camden, Battle of Utah Springs. Favorite retreat, Snow Island, deep swamps. Here we go. Survival. Time date stamp 2018.